Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 3 of the International Women's Day Caribbean Tech Summit. My name is Soumya Tarambetti, the Women Tech Maker Ambassador and the GDG Ambassador for Nassau, the Bahamas. And I am super excited to be here today to guide you through today's day of the summit, where we will be talking about creative trends, new markets, and basically all things art within the Caribbean. We had an awesome lineup yesterday. I mean, we talked about some really exciting things like microbes in terms of it in technology and commercial products, so used in oil spills, etc. We talked about creating a sustainable carnival, which is really interesting, and also the relationship between cybersecurity and sustainability, right, in governance, public policy, etc. Super exciting things. I mean, I learned a lot, and I'm just excited to learn a lot more today. So we have our first speaker today, Kimberly. I'm going to give you a quick bio of Kimberly. She's the founder of Carib Arts, one of the leading digital media hubs offering highlights of emerging visual artists, artwork, and art events from the Caribbean for art lovers worldwide. So to give you some stats on how big Carib Art is, we're talking about 50 plus million views since 2018, more than 40,000 followers, and over 900 artists shared. She launched in 2023, this year actually, the Epic Centrum, a 2-day online conference to bridge the gap between culture and tech in the Caribbean space. So this conference consisted of topics like immersive and interactive experiences, NFT, AR, VR, MetaHuman, Web 3.0, crypto, digital market trends, etc., and etc. So I hope you all were there at the conference. The Epic Centrum brings together over 250 professionals in the Caribbean creative industries with international speakers that works with various companies. Kimberly is a marketing and digital specialist for arts, culture, and tech, and she's been working for over 80 clients in the Caribbean, Europe, and USA for over 10 years. So today, Kimberly is going to talk to us about leveraging technology for Caribbean cultural advocacy. Let's welcome Kimberly to the stage.
Hello, everybody. Very
Hello,
excited to
Kimberly.
be here.
Super
So,
excited.
yeah, so I am.
Awesome. Take it away.
Okay, so thank you for the quick introduction, Soumya. I'm from Guadeloupe. It's a French and Creole speaking island in the Caribbean. So, this is the reason why I speak English like this. But I will try to do my best today. I think I will share my screen to let you see. Yes. Okay. I think it's good. So, yes, I think everything is good. Okay, so today we will be speaking about leveraging technology for Caribbean cultural advocacy. I would love to do this talk because this is important for me to help Caribbean creative to bridge the gap between culture and tech in the Caribbean space. There is amazing initiative and project worldwide, and I think it's very interesting to discover in each industry in the cultural industries, just like dance, music, visual arts, literature as well. So to discover case studies to get inspiration in the Caribbean space. So I will start with dance plus tech. So during the Epicentrum last month, we welcome Gwendoline. She's the founder of Lacri. This is an award-winning studio in France around interactive experiences for the dance industry. And she made an amazing project called Taxim. So Taxim consists in a life-size digital picture of a dancer that can be animated by a visitor audience touching the screen. So as you see on the video, visitor touch the skin and it influences the dancer movements. So I think it's an amazing tool. For the moment, there is only 3 people in France that use this technology. So it could be interesting to Caribbean dancer to jump into it. So this is a good example for dance plus tech. I will move to creative plus tech, so arts. NFT has taken the art world by storm, and the Caribbean is no exception. So the Caribbean creative industry are very, very active in the NFT world. We have collective and companies in the Caribbean space, Island NFT Barbados, the blockchain based in Jamaica, Creator Lab in Trinidad and Tobago, Crypto Caribbean in Jamaica. And we also have an amazing exhibition launched a few weeks ago called Expression. So 1,000 unique pieces of artwork from 12 Caribbean artists around indigenous art communities. So I will give you a look of this amazing online and exhibition of NFT artwork. So I think NFT is a good way to artists to earn money and also to reach a new audience. But this is also a good way to showcase our cultural or historic worldwide through NFT. So you have an example here with Expression. Creator Labs also created in December the Caribbean Metaverse Art Week. So it was an amazing mix of different Caribbean creative industries. So there is arts exhibition, so artwork, music, also a fashion show. So yeah, it was an amazing event, and it was the first in the metaverse industry. Then you also have the blockchain. So this is created by a Jamaican woman, and the goal of this platform is to highlight people of color in the blockchain. So through this platform, I discover amazing Caribbean artists, and yeah, you have to give it a look. And we also have Island NFT that help artists and also companies to jump into the NFT market. So as you can see, Caribbean artists are very, very active in the NFT, in the visual arts. So this is a way to go, a beautiful way to learn money, but also to make people experience your artwork in a different way. Talking about NFT, there is also the music NFT. So we have amazing Caribbean artists that jump into this big, big, big markets. To give you a number, in 2022, this market was valued at 1,746 millions US dollars. So that's a lot. As I was saying, in the Caribbean, we are very active in the NFT markets. Just like Anya Ayongchi in Trinidad and Tobago, we have Roshan Basie Clark in Jamaica, and the beautiful Barbadian singer Chantel Lane, who sold an NFT for 50,000 US dollar to a buyer from Dubai. So NFT is very, very interesting for a musician as well as visual artists. If I have an advice to give to a musician in the Caribbean space, especially in the French-speaking island, is that NFT work through communities. So you really have to create an active community on social media. So on Facebook, on Instagram, on Discord, build a community, have an effective website, and then jump into this NFT marketplace. This is, I think, the good way to jump into some markets. So I have also a good example in the cultural spaces, for the cultural spaces, with Rocky Bucano. Is the founder of Universal Hip Hop Museum. And he said that when people come in here, they get one physical experience by looking at the historical artifacts. But when they leave here, that experience should continue even where they're home. So what is important when you have a cultural spaces is to be present online and in a physical space. So the Universal Hip Hop Museum is a very good example. We welcome iconic moments and someone Ed who work at Universal Hip Hop Museum. This museum don't exist for the moment. It will be physically open in 2024. So for the promotion of the event and the fundraising of this physical amazing place, the Universal Hip Hop Museum partner with Iconic Moments to jump into the Web3 and create a generative art collection that will be added to the permanent collection of the museum. So this is a good way to leverage money for this amazing project. This is a project funded by Rocky Bocano and famous artists like Nas, LL Cool J, Ice-T, and more. So yeah, I think this is a good way also to tease a project. This project will be open next year, and we already have a big community and big engagement around it, and people that invest through NFT to this amazing project. So yeah, I think it can be interesting to cultural spaces in the Caribbean to get into this type of method, and also maybe link with Caribbean artists, as we see that we have a lot of NFT artists in the Caribbean. Also, the literature plus tech. I think we forget a lot about the book industry in the Caribbean when it comes to technology. So we all know about the audiobook platform, just like Audible by Amazon. But there is amazing company and startup around literature plus tech. For example, we have Tertulia. So Tertulia is a platform in application based on book recommendation and book talk across social media, podcasts, and the web. So this is a very big community of people who love book, recommend book, and you also have the final stage when you can also purchase the book. So this is an amazing startup. And for the moment, I'm in contact with the founder. They told me that they don't have a Caribbean author on the platform. So I think we need to do something about it. We also have it's more targeting to the teen community, but we have the webtoon. So webtoon are comic designing to be read as vertical scroll on a smartphone. This is a very big industry, as this is 900 million global sales in 2022. And there is not that much Caribbean author or Caribbean creative on this platform. So I think we need to give it a look and to share our history, to share our character, to share our heritage on this platform. This is mainly targeted to a teen audience under 20 years old. So yeah, I think can be amazing for Caribbean author and maybe publishing houses to test this platform webtoon. We have the same in French and another one in for the Spanish community. So very interesting. And I will end with the media plus tech. As you know, there is many amazing social media accounts, media, and platform that showcase the rich history of the Caribbean. We have Know Your Caribbean, Vintage Caribbean in French, in English, sorry, and in Creole. And in French, we also have Très Créole, Histoire Caraïbe. In Spanish, we have Soy Si Guapa and Muy Pute. I will give you a quick look of these amazing accounts. And this is a new way to consume culture, to consume art, and to consume history. So this is very interesting because we have 6 official language in the Caribbean. So we reach different audience worldwide through this language. We also are a mix of culture. So yeah, I think we need to create more of this media. Maybe focus on the dance industry, the tech industry, maybe with book recommendation from the Caribbean, and use the fact that we have different language to reach a wider audience. Also, I think we need to continue to support and fund this media that already exists in this platform. And as I said, and this is also the reason why I've created the Epicentrum, I think, as for me, that the Caribbean is a central point, a cultural central point. We have different culture, different languages. So this is the best economic area in America to do business with arts, because we have history and culture that can talk to an Asian community, an African community, etc., etc. So yeah, we need to do something about it. That's it. If you have any question, do not hesitate. I don't know if yes, it's good. Do not hesitate, guys. The point of this talk was for me to share initiative worldwide to inspire you to create maybe a startup, a project, a magazine, a media, or just test new technology with your industry, for example, dance or music, and make you realize that there is a lot of money. We are still in the beginning. So, yeah, there is a place for Caribbean artists, and we need to support each other. That's it.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kimberly.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it's always nice hearing from you because you always talk about things that I would not usually come across. Like I would have never thought like literature and tech, dance and tech. So these things are super, super interesting. How was your conference, by the way? It's the first inaugural year of the Epicentrum. How did it go? What are some key takeaways from the conference?
It was amazing because the conference brought together speakers and also an audience from United States, Africa, and Europe. So a lot of people discover our Caribbean creative industry, and was amazed that there were things. I think we have a big problem around communication about our creative industries and creative projects. So yeah, I was really amazed and surprised that yeah, people are interested in also into invest in Caribbean creative. So yeah, I think we need to do the first step. So it was my feedback from the Epicentrum. And I also was very happy to bring together, two 50 professional in the Caribbean creative industry. As a French speaker, from a French and Creole speaking islands, I think we need to do more cooperation because it's easier between English speaking island. But yeah, French speaking island and also Spanish speaking island. Sometimes it's hard for us to connect with other islands. So yeah, it was a good way to connect with everyone because we use live subtitle. So we have people who spoke different language. So yeah, I was very, very excited about it.
I love that. So congratulations once again for the first one. This is literally the start, right, of
Yeah.
a series of events and events, etc. So that's exciting. So how would you say are ways that we can actually increase Caribbean arts visibility beyond our borders of the Caribbean region? What are some things that we can do, or I guess, yeah, things that we can do?
The first thing that I love to say is that people need to put the Caribbean label with their work. For example, you, Sonia, you're from the Bahamas. So I think it's important wherever you go that you say that you're from the Bahamas in the Caribbean. It's really important because we are doing amazing things, but most of the time we don't know that there is Caribbean people that are doing this. So yeah, I think Caribbean representation matter, and we need to put the label Caribbean on all social media, on our website, and everywhere. And to answer the question, I think we need to create local initiative. I know that you created Ba Arts, a boat that share Bahamian artists, and yeah, so there we need this type of platform, startup media to showcase Caribbean artists. And with that, they will reach a wider audience through the digital platform, but also bigger media, bigger audience will discover them. For example, we have Nicolas Eggings from Trinidad and Tobago. I know him for 5 years now. He was one of the first artists that accept to be interviewed on Caribbean, and now is very very active on the NFT scene. And he has an article on the biggest media about NFT worldwide, NFT Now, about 20 Caribbean artists to follow in the NFT industry. So yeah, I think every step and every move is really important for our visibility. But my answer is that we need to support our media, our social media, on platform or initiative, and also we need to create more, maybe around dance, around literature, music, and more. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think support local art and local artists or local talent. That's a big hashtag or a big movement that is going on for the past few years, but we really need to emphasize it now. I know for, in my case, for the Bahar bot, which I was so excited about. I don't know if you know, but Elon Musk, he kind of monetized the Twitter API now. So you have to like pay for it. And as a creator who just did it for fun, I don't have the funding for it, so it had to get shut down, right? So I think also
Oh,
funding in our
yeah.
orange economy in the various countries is also a huge thing that I hope both investors and government will realize the importance of, because as the Caribbean nations, we are so beautiful, we're so creative, colorful, and all of that stuff. So we have to keep it alive.
Yeah. I'm
um,
totally agree with you.
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier about like all of these new ways of integrating tech and the arts. Like, how do you personally stay up with all of these latest innovations? Are there some pages you follow, some people you follow? Are there like magazines or specific about this? Like how do we keep up with one, new Caribbean innovation, and then two, just general art and innovation?
I think it's easy for me because with Caribbean Art, I follow a lot of Caribbean artists, so I'm in touch with what they are doing with their career. So it's a way. I'm also very active on LinkedIn. I follow people from the IDB team, so I know that IDB invests a lot in tech. They invest a lot also in Carnival plus tech, as I see. But yeah, I think I take time every day. I will say 2 hour by per day to do research online in French, in English, and in Spanish too, to have a better view around this. I also read a lot of articles from the Alliance Museum of America, and I follow a lot of tech studio that also share article about their new projects. So yeah, I think this is a way I keep in touch. Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of very technical terms earlier, like NFTs, cryptos, well, not cryptos, but Web 3.0 and stuff around that sense. How technical is art innovation? Like, do you have to be technical for these things, or is it just mostly about the creative component?
I think there is a lot of bullshit words in the tech industry, just like the marketing industry as well. So this is why today I decided to show example, because I think most of the time it's complicated to understand the concept, for example, of blockchain, the concept of crypto money, the concept of NFT. And the better way to understand it is to have example of people that do things. There is now a lot of user friendly technology. that can help you if you're not tech friendly to experiment and do tests to try things with your artwork. But yeah, I think the problem with the tech industry is that it seems technical because it is, but now there is tool to just test, and if you're very very loose and you don't know where to start, there is professional that can help you on that part, and start just with consulting because before jump into a too technical thing. So yeah, I think creative need also to collaborate with professional on the tech industry, and maybe just start by write email and ask question, and yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. Even with like cinema and stuff, or yeah, with cinema, there's like, I think for any creative director person, like the technological possibilities are there, right? It's just how to execute it and how to do it, right?
Yeah. I think we also need space, and I'm working on it to go on the step two, because we have a lot of conference, talk, keynotes, a panel discussion around technology, but I think there is not that much workshop to try it,
Mm,
So with the Epicentrum, we are working on it to bring professional in the Caribbean to do technical workshop, and yeah, I think it's also the step two, and then it will be easier to have investor, for our project in the Caribbean space.
absolutely. That's the beauty of like hackathons and ideathons and all of those things, right? Like we learn so much things, but putting it into practice and actually solving a actual problem or something, like creating something tangible at the end, I think that's always so exciting.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So we live in a very technical age, right? The rise of automation, AI, so much digitization, etc. That I feel like we sometimes neglect the humanities, right? The arts, especially when we think of like what careers are more sustainable for the future. What would you say? Why is art so important for our society or for our everyday living, for our future?
With a comment from Damien. Yeah.
I agree with Damien. A little less conversation, a little more action. Action speaks louder, right, Damien?
Yeah. So as for me, I think it's pretty cliche to say this, but art is life, and we live in a space, in the Caribbean space, with um, a complicated history. We also have an amazing culture, and I think arts is a language and a language, it can be also a tool to exist, and also this is also a way for us to um, how I can say this in English. It's a way for us to fight, as for me, because art is a tool, but it can also be a weapon. This is a way for us to fight, to exist, to display also our culture. To yeah, I think it's a pretty complicated question. It's a physical question. It's pretty hard to answer. What why art is important. But what I will say is that we can use tech to reach a wider audience, and about the art and why is it important. Yeah, I think it's pretty hard for me to answer that question because yeah, it's a very very big topic.
Absolutely. Maria wrote something here. She said it's a way for us to fight. Art is a tool, but it can also be a weapon. It is a way for us to fight or to exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's just basically quoting what was said earlier.
Yeah.
That really stuck out for Maria. Absolutely. Do you have any, let's say, like dream projects that you would love to work on? I know you mentioned earlier about being more practical in terms of combining or more workshops combining the art and the technology, but do you have any like dream projects that are something that you'd really, really love to do?
I think my dream project is to open a residency, an art residency in the Caribbean, that's around culture and tech. I would love to have this space and to give people tools to experiments, and also have this place to exhibit our creation, and also to welcome artists outside the Caribbean, investor to also feel the Caribbean energy, because people most of the time know our amazing beach and landscape. The Caribbean is more than this, you know. So I think they need to experiment our culture deeper, and an art residency on culture and tech. Yeah, I think it's my dream project. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? I believe in that 1,000%. If there's someone who can get it done, it's you. I mean, when it comes to Caribbean and art, like it's so amazing what you do, truly. It really is. And I'm so glad I found you
Thank you
because
so
it's truly amazing. What is next for Kimberly? Like what are you working on? What are the projects in the pipeline? Tell us more.
I'm working at this moment with Carinex around their upcoming event in January 2024. I'm working on the art and culture part of this event. So it will be a physical event between Miami and the Bahamas. Around blockchain. So I'm in charge of the art and culture, and yeah, I'm working on amazing surprise and physical things and virtual things to highlight our Caribbean artists. Also, just to add to the previous question about my dream project, the art residency is important for me because I think the problem also we have in the creative industry is that we don't have that much funds and money. So yeah, I think a residency is a way also to give grants and funds to Caribbean artists. And yeah, we will try to do something like this with Carnex. So yeah, this is the upcoming project.
I love that, Kimberly. As we said earlier, we want to fulfill these dreams with you too. So let us know how we can help. As always, we are a community. We're here for you, and we're always excited to see you do great things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you for your time.
That was absolutely amazing. I found Kimberly, I think, a year or two ago when I was also kind of experimenting with technology and art because I am a wannabe artist. And I say wannabe because I'm not that great, but I just love the arts. And I think it's so beautiful when you combine technology into it and just elevate the form of art right into something completely different. So I think this is super fantastic. um, yes, time for our second speaker of the day. We have Charissa, who is actually not here with us physically, but she is still here. Charissa has worked in several roles from marketing, events, and project management. She has over 10 plus years of experience in these roles and has been able to seamlessly adapt to any industry she works for. As a senior marketing manager at Cinema One Trinidad and Tobago, the company won the Best Theater Marketing Award in 2012, and she created the Atlantic Ultimate Field Trip, which allowed students from primary and secondary school to visit the IMAX Theater, sponsored by Atlantic LNG, in which over 10,000 students attended. She holds a Bachelor in Science in Tourism and Hospitality Management and a Management of Science in Tourism Development and Management from the University of the West Indies St. Augustine's campus. She's also an active member with the Down Syndrome Family Network. Let's welcome Charissa to the stage as she talks to us about her journey in becoming an instructional designer.
Hi, my name is Charissa Minty. I am a marketer a client services manager and an instructional designer. So I wear several hats, yes, for sure. But my journey started, I mean, my background, I should say, is in tourism and hospitality management. That's what I studied at university. However, I'm being honest, when I was looking for jobs in my field of study, I was unable to find anything at the time. So I said, okay, what was the next best thing for me to do? So I said, okay, maybe something along the lines of marketing. And the CEO of IMAX, well, it's now Cinema One, but IMAX in Trinidad, I guess she took a chance on me and said, look, I'm gonna hire you as a marketing officer, but we have to build this from scratch, okay? So it was me dealing at the construction level. So I just picked up like project management skills. I was like, okay, and I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I want to try, and I was young, I was really young, and I was like, I want to learn. So, and I want to get the experience as well. I said, sure, no problem, whatever you need. And during that time, I grew in the company. I started off as a marketing officer, and I grew straight into the senior marketing manager. I worked alongside the operations manager, and we would develop like training courses, not really courses, but training for the staff there. I even started something called the Atlantic Ultimate Field Trip in partnership with Atlantic, and we brought thousands of children, primary, secondary, tertiary level education, to come to look at these amazing educational films that were in 3D. So that whole thing about edutainment, I was a huge fan of it. I really enjoyed doing that. And one thing that stood out for me was I love to see when persons, kids and adults, stretching their hands out, thinking images are coming off the screen. That for me was like the highlight. Um, and from there, I mean, I developed, definitely a lot of marketing skills, event management, project management. Yeah, training and learning and development, and I learned so much there. And that kind of took me into, I did some event management on the side as well, after I left IMAX. And then it took me into working at a company called Caribbean Synapse. So it's an advertising agency based in Trinidad and Tobago. And they hired me to handle the events for their corporate clients. So I did. I started in 2019, like July 2019, and they hired me 6 months pregnant. So but it was my third child, so I was like, it's fine, I could manage this. And yeah, the experience there was truly amazing. However, I went on maternity leave, and then when I came back out in March 2020, guess what? The pandemic. So I was like, okay, I'm prepared. My position is going to be made redundant. I, I mean, I just have to accept that. But the great thing is the CEO and the chairman of the company, wonderful people. They reached out and they spoke to everybody, every individual, and said, "You're not going anywhere. We're not." They know a lot of companies like letting go staff. They're not going to do that. They said they'll do a bit of restructuring. So I then became an account executive with the client services management team. So that was truly a great experience as well. I love dealing with people. I love dealing with clients. Um, Funny, I think before they used to call me like damage control queen because any kind of issues, and I would always be there to find a solution to a problem. So I truly had an amazing experience during that time. And then the chairman, he said, listen, I'm trying to create this next arm of the business because during the pandemic, a lot of people were upskilling, trying different things. And, he said, we should have like a training arm of the business. We have a number of subject matter experts at this company with a knowledge of brand management, marketing. I mean, you could think whatever. We have persons in this company who could share this knowledge, not only with their peers at the company, but also, if persons are interested in gaining this knowledge, they can do so. So we developed something called Caribbean Academy. So it's myself, the business development manager, and the chairman. We're like, okay, let's see how we could get this off the ground. And there was a lot of research that had to be done and a lot of back and forth in terms of okay, how are we doing this? How are we gonna make this work? So it's a huge learning curve for me. Right. So, we, I mean, we said we will do it in such, we had a model where we would have the subject matter experts. So either myself, the business development manager, the chairman, the CEO, whoever at the company, willing to speak on camera. And we had them record content. I mean, we would write the content. I think at one point we then switched over and said, listen, we'll get somebody to help us with the content that we want to speak about. And we recorded this content, and I mean, it was gold. This is like so much great information that we can share. And the great thing about it, there are other sites like Udemy and Coursera, all these different learning management systems and training sites. However, it is very much American based, and the great thing about what we were sharing, it was very localized and Caribbean based. We would give Caribbean examples, even local examples. So, or we will use an international example and try to compare it to a local example. So we really wanted to localize the content. So that was truly something special that we had in our hands. And then when we were talking to potential clients and in speaking to them, I think one of them was like, "Are you SCORM compliant?" We were like, "Oh." Wait, we thought what we were developing was perfect. What is the thing with SCORM? So I'll tell you, SCORM is Shareable Content Object Reference Model, right? So I'll try to simplify it. So like I know what it is, and but let me see if I could break it down even further. So it is you trying to package your course material, whether it is video, images, a presentation, maybe a YouTube link, as well as assessment and a final assessment. All that information is packaged into one, and you can create, and when you package it, it turns into a zip file. And that zip file is now shared with, let's say, an LMS platform, a learning management system platform. And however you share that, however you've zipped the file is called SCORM, right? You're SCORMing it to now share it on the learning management system platform. And the learning management system platform will now be able to read the information from that zip file. And when they're able to read it, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It reads all the information, how you'd want this course to be used. So, if it is you start, no, I want this person to start from the beginning and they cannot skip anything. They have to go through the whole thing till they get to the end. Or it could be, no, this person could jump ahead after like a minute after looking at each slide. So however, whatever parameters you've set for the course and however you've wanted packaged, that's how you share it. It's a SCORM file that you share with the learning management system, so the learning management system can now read those parameters and understand, oh, this is how you want to do it. No problem. That's my basic breakdown of SCORMing. So, um, so yeah, so right. So when they asked about SCORMing, we were like, oh, well, what is that? And so we did a little research, and then I was like, okay, so in order to do this, we probably need to get a software to compact to package, sorry, this course that we're developing. It's like, okay, so jumped on Udemy, and I was like, oh, this course. I was like, okay, for me, it's a cross between PowerPoint and video editing. I didn't have a strong back, and I like Photoshop and Illustrator and that kind of thing. I didn't have a strong background in video editing, but I was strong in PowerPoint. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna figure it out because that's who I am. I'll just figure it out. And so we bought the software. I think you had like a really long period for the trial process, like a month or something. So every night I'm there checking it out, trying different things. I'm like, yeah, man, I can do this. And I mean, I was doing like for me now it's like basic. I made the courses interactive. So I had like things dragging and dropping in different places. And I was like, ooh, I'm doing such a great job. And I mean, it's like basic stuff, right? But I was really proud of myself because I was able to do interactivity and so on. So this then led me to, listen, I'm enjoying this so much. I want to start a little project where because for me, this was me upskilling myself. I was upskilling myself during the pandemic. My brain then switched from a marketing brain to a technical brain and coding and that kind of thing. I didn't realize that that would happen, but it did. And I was like, I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying developing these courses and making them interactive. I think one of the main highlights we were getting from just clients and people in general is that, it is what they call it, Zoom fatigue. And so when you sit down, you listen to somebody speaking for a while, it's like, okay, I'm okay, we get you. And you want the course to be engaging, you want it to be interactive. So I was trying all different ways to make it interactive and to make it engaging, because you don't want the learners to be like, oh, we're bored. So I was like, I'm gonna create a little project. And for me, in creating this project, I was like, okay, I don't want to do anything too far-fetched. I want to do something that is close to my heart. So, okay, for example, I was in client management. I was an account executive. Something that always popped up was trying to manage calendars. Oh gosh, and then who know, you're always in a meeting. Everybody's talk about, oh God, this meeting could have been an email. Like, did I have to attend this meeting? Like, oh gosh. So I remembered, a lot of the account executives would be like, look at my calendar. How can I do this meeting? And then I have this and this to do. Then not enough hours in the day. So then like, oh, light bulb, time management. I was like, okay, so time management, because I had struggled with time management as well. So there's time management, me and the client services side. Okay, how do you manage client? Maybe how do you manage a calendar? So I broke this down and I do like a little project where I create a time management course. And I'm gonna have this character called Paula. And Paula's, she's the client services director, and her calendar is a mess. And she's doesn't have enough time to attend meetings. And so I just broke this down and I was like, yeah, I think I could do this. And then I was like, I want to put some animation in it. I don't want just like regular little characters all 2D standing up. I was like, no, I want some movement. I want some video. So I saw at the time Beyond was in my face all the time. So I was like, I'm gonna try this. So again, animation is not my background, but I'm like, I'm gonna try it. And remember, I'm moving from that marketing brain to more technical things. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this animation. And it was pretty easy to pick up, And then, everybody's following YouTube videos now. So I just picked it up. I was able to do so I was able to do some some little videos, make these different characters. Sorry. And I had so much fun doing it. Of course, I'm doing it. I'm a mom of three. I'm doing this in the nighttime when everybody's sleeping. And then in the morning, have my regular 9 to 5 job. And it was, wow, how the hell did I do all of this? I was crazy, but I did it and I succeeded. So I want to share my screen to show you like my thought process. I did like mock-ups in Canva. Then the next step was like, okay, let me see if I could go and create these like videos in Beyond. So I created those little mini videos. Then I uploaded the videos to the software, which is Articulate Storyline, along with copy that I had in Canva. Then it was almost like a whiteboard that I did, a step-by-step process. I'm just gonna share with you my thought process and how everything looks, okay? So let me share my screen. Right. So I found just a simple template regarding time management, but I didn't use, initially I was thinking to use this and I was like, nah, you can do something. We're gonna fix up the animation, like we'll figure it out. So I started with this, then I'm like, okay, so we Paula, she's an advertising agency. So everything here, like the copy is just, I was up at night, I'm just writing. So they're like typos and I'm like, okay, the outcome, stress, headache, decision making, or maybe delegation, that kind of thing, the next step. Then I had this watch and I was like, oh, maybe I can do something where if they get the answer correct, one quadrant of the watch darkens to say, okay, you're getting there. So these are some of the things I thought of, A, B, C, how the different responses, and maybe if you click A, that's the right scenario. If B is chosen, this is the answer that will come up. and so on and so forth. So I did about oof, 19 slides. But this, I mean, overall, it took about a month to of me working in the night. Maybe once I had a little break of me developing this. I think now something like this could take me, if I have copy and stuff like that, it'll probably take me about 2 weeks to get through based on copy, how much animation needed and so on. But because I did this from scratch, it took about a month, you know? Shall share um the articulate storyline breakdown so you see what that looks like. Okay, so this is storyline. And okay, so so this was the full breakdown here. And then of course, so this was just like it's pretty basic in terms of me, the overlay. I just got a screenshot of the actual video, then I did an overlay and I put in the information that I had from the Canva document, the slides. I started to put in the text and everything here. And then yeah, and then I was like, let me have like a little a lady called Janice, and she will give you like hints if you need any help. So I even put that Janice here will help you, give you tips along the way. So I have a layer where Janice is saying, hi, I'm Janice, etc. Yeah. Okay, so then we continue. This is the video, but I'm not going to show the video now. I think I will share the link I will show you like a first part of the video at the end, but I want to also share the link with you guys so you guys could interact with it as well, right? So this is another part. Okay, so right, this was one of the scenarios, the questions coming up, ABC. Of course, if Janice is there, if you click on her, she gives you a little hint. The different layers will be like, okay, if you answer A, this is the response. If you answer B, this is the response, and so on and so forth, right? All right, so this is just a breakdown of how it flows. Yeah. Okay, so I'm now going to share with you, I'll share another breakdown shortly. So once I broke everything down in storyline, I did this in a PowerPoint this is like my whiteboard and just to show the flow of everything, the animation, the ABC responses and so on. And then I developed a little certificate that you can get at the end once the course is completed. Yeah, so this is just my little brief storyboard look and feel, if you want to call it that. Okay, and now I'm going to show you the actual course. Now there is audio, but I don't know, in this recording, sometimes the audio is a little tricky, so I'm just going to mute and then walk you through the actual video. Okay, so I didn't when you're downloading it in Storyline, you have the option of having it like packaged to put on an LMS platform, or you can have it packaged as like HTML to share in like I'm using Amazon data management here to upload the course. So I placed it here and it's open, so anybody can click on the link and check it out. And I will share the link with you guys as well. So feel free to interact with it and so on. Okay, so here we go. This is it here being right. Right, talking about Janice, of course, when you click on her, she says, hey, I'll help you, etc. So I'll just go through one of them with you. So this video is, what's it sticking a little bit? Right, so this is Paula, who's the client services director. She's going to her job, and funny enough, she works at an advertising agency. So I guess her colleagues are there interacting and so on. And then, okay, so she's on her computer and let's get into it. So she arrives into work where her calendar is booked with meetings for the whole week. What should she do next? So of course, the different options. So let's try A, where she just makes a cup of coffee, and then yeah, let's try this one. Okay, Paul is rushing to prepare for a team meeting. So it looks like this is not ideal. So we're gonna try again and see if we get the right answer. So let's try B. And there we go. So this is correct, and in this one, we want to highlight the fact that she was able to delegate. She keeps that meeting to 30 minutes, ensuring all work has been delegated and persons know what they need to be what needs to be done for the day. And of course, the quadrant is darkened. And then it goes to another video and so on and so forth. So this is where I like the little interactivity. I love the little animation and stuff. I think it's fun. I'm proud of my little project, you know? I mean, it took me a month, but I really enjoyed doing this. So that's my story in a nutshell, you know, from me having the background of, you know, my tourism and hospitality background. I think that kind of helped me as like a foundation to where I am today because in tourism and hospitality, you have to ensure you give good customer service. And that whole hospitality aspect kind of led me to be really good in the marketing sphere, event management. You have to and all of these different positions. I had to interact with people, and I had to give good customer service, and I had to ensure the client was happy. You know, so it led me into marketing, project management, events management, and then finally into instructional design. And of course, if the client is happy with my course, woo, that's great. So, so I'll share the link with you. It's also on my LinkedIn page, which I'll share that as well. And yeah, again, it's open, so feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and reach out to me if you have any questions regarding instructional design. I could even share with you some tips, some persons that you should really follow because I mean, I didn't do this on my own. I reached out, I found a community of other instructional designers out there, so I could always share their information, their LinkedIn contact, who you should follow, and yeah, and that's my journey in a nutshell. So I hope this information was beneficial. And again, feel free to hit me up. And if you want to talk further about my journey or instructional design, feel free to message me. Thanks again.
Unmute again. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Teresa. Unfortunately, she's not here with us live, but you can ask her any questions through her LinkedIn and through her email that she has provided. And that we will share again later throughout our socials. So today was a short day. It's Sunday. We want you to spend time with your family and friends and just mentally prepare for this upcoming week. But thank you so much for joining us today as we talk about creative trends within the Caribbean, right? So bringing art, bridging the gap between art and technological possibilities, making art fun, making it more practical, and even in our day-to-day lives of instructional design, right? So there's so much that can be done with it. So super exciting talks today. Tomorrow, day 4, we're going to be talking about navigating opportunities within the Caribbean and beyond. We're talking about mentorship, networking, internships, continued learning. So no matter where you are in your career, whether you're someone wanting to get into tech or a different industry, whether you're a mid level or even a senior level, these are for you. These topics are for you. So we have an exciting lineup tomorrow, a handful of speakers, if I may say. So do join us again tomorrow. In the meantime, do catch up with us on our socials. We are IWD Tech Caribbean on various socials, and yeah, do reach out to all the speakers. Once again, they will be more than happy to accommodate you all. So thank you once again for joining us today, and we will catch you tomorrow. Sorry, as a correction, it's IWD Tech Summit on Instagram and iwdtechsummit.com. Just a correction. So that will be it. So find us on socials, follow us, share our pages, and share our content because we will be live again tomorrow with some really, really cool features for you all. So thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening.